Good evening, everyone. This is Rodney with the Triton Wave Outlook for Wednesday, September 12th, 2012. Let's first look at what the S&Ps did. They were up approximately 10 handles, 10 points overnight, and it looked like it was up and away. And the waves are starting to go sideways on T1, on T1 and slightly up on T2. But what I like about the 21-minute is that wave number 1, T1, is below 0, and let's expand this a little bit. It stayed below 0 even though the market opened up about 6 or 7 points and was up 10 at the most, 10 or 11 at the most. T1 stayed below 0. Now, during the day, T1 actually, the last tick of the day, T2 went below 0. So let's look and see what happened with the 1597 tick chart that went down in this big plummet yesterday. It came back up again and it started to head back below 0 at about 12 at 11:30, and then 1 rolled into 2, rolled into 3, into 4, and now all 5 waves are completely below 0. Now that is even after the after market hours with the S&Ps up 175. So we'll see if that holds. I got all the positions that I had. They were for September expiration in the options, and I rolled when the market started going up about 10:30, when it was up at 1437. I realized that it was matching all the highs from the last 3 days, all the way back to here, and you can see on the daily also. And I just decided that it might push further, and September's coming right around the corner, so I decided to. I had some terrific gains in Baidu, and I had some small losses on the other one. So net, I came out ahead, but I closed them all out, and I waited until near the end of the day to reload on some SPYs for 1 month out for October. So let's look at a few of these really quickly. Let me see. Goldman Sachs, no real change. T1 started to go down on Monday, and now it's almost followed through on T2. So I still like that on the downside, even though I am not in it for the short term. You have to understand that these waves are an early warning indicator. Sometimes they fire off almost immediately. Sometimes you see the price action almost immediately. Sometimes you have to wait 3 or 4 days. It was just that September's getting a little bit too close for the premiums, and the premiums are starting to come out of it really quickly. So I still like Goldman to the downside. No change on Amazon. It was down a little bit today. It's down to its old. Let me see. Its old highs were. Okay, that's not something that I would chase. And Amazon looks good to the upside, but I wouldn't chase it here. I'd let it come down a little bit. Baidu on the daily is kind of treaded water today. It was down 2.5, and then it was up 1. It was up 60 cents at the close. But T1 has gone below 0 for the first time since, let me see, July 24th. So I still like this. I still like this to the downside. If it comes back up, it looks like it wants to come back up a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this come back up to at least the 21 period. I'm sorry, the 8 period moving average. If it came up to the 8, somewhere in between the 8 and the 21, I'd reload to the downside here. I had a profit on these, and I saw the waves kind of trickling up a little bit, and it looked like it was a rounded bottom. It looked like it wanted to take off for like 3 or 4 points. So I said, I don't need to watch this happen. I'll take my profits here. Okay, looking at Netflix, it's just coming up to the 8-period moving average on the daily. It's up. It was up with the market today, and the waves are starting to move sideways a little bit. It's a little bit influence on the upside, so this actually may come up 2 or 3 points. But I would reload on the downside, given the fact that everything is below almost everything is below zero on the T5 is below zero mainly on the daily. That any kind of upward move, especially since this is now below zero for, let me see, 2 days here, 1, 2. Then if this comes back up to 59.60, that would be a 50% retracement from the move from August 21st down to September 9th. So if it comes back up to the 21-period moving average, it'll not only fill this gap, it'll be the 21-period moving average, which puts it up to 377 right here. So that would be a good candidate to short. Let that just roll up to 59. All right, looking at Apple, I like the fact that Apple is consistently going down now in spite of all the news. They're coming up with the version number 5, Apple 5 tomorrow on Wednesday, and this took 17-point beating and then tried to make it up a little bit and then hit the 21-period moving average, kind of rolling over. All 5 waves are over except for T5 is like 3 hash marks away from moving below zero. So I don't know what the announcement is going to be. I don't know how investors will look at it, but they may just be selling on the news. According to the waves, they will be selling on the news. This could take this down like 20 points pretty easily. Or it could bounce off the 377. We could see a new high. But I'm favoring the downside right here because of the influence of the waves on the downside for the 21-period moving average. I'm sorry, the 21-period cash price. Okay, MasterCard. MasterCard. Even though I was looking for this move below zero on T5, it looks like it didn't want to accommodate me. And there started to be a follow through, and then it collapsed and it went back up, and I actually held this too long. So I got rid of this today, especially because it went above zero on T1, below zero, and now it's above again. So this MasterCard actually doesn't look too bad right here. It's getting a little toppy. I wouldn't buy it here, but it doesn't look longer term. It might be. I'm sorry, shorter term it might move up a little bit more, but I would stay away from it. All right, GLD looks good. It's starting to move sideways to up. The daily, it's like resting, going sideways. It may come down a little bit. If the market comes down because of anything, the FOMC meeting tomorrow and whatever they announce, gold is going to come down. There's no way to avoid that. But it probably will only come down to support of the 377 on the 21, which is 162.70, and 162.30 is the 21-period moving average. So if it comes down to 62.50, 62.70, that would be an entry point. All right, Google. Google went above its trend line, its 2-year trend line, and then immediately snapped back. So it's heading back toward where the trend line was at 684. It might come through this and go to 679, which is on the 21 is 377, and it looks like it wants to do that for right now. We'll have to take another assessment to see what it looks like once it hits the 379 to see what these waves look like on the left. Actually, Google does not look bad for a buy if it gets down to these levels. But in a market that's going, if the market goes down with the FOMC meeting, after the FOMC meeting, then Google may go down, actually may go down to 650. It may go way past this. Let me see what it's done in the past year. In the past, it's gone down, and then it just like doubled the amount it was to the 377. Let's go back further here. All right, when it came back up back in April, it shot up from 630 to 670. It's 40 points. It did that 40 and then another 40. So Google tends to flare up and flare down. It's been nice and easy for a long time on this daily, all the way from the middle of July, 563, all the way up to 713. It might be time for a rest. That's all I have for tonight. Good luck trading, and I'll see you at the next update. Enjoy the FOMC chaos tomorrow. Chaos trading. Good night now.